TV. Hey, today we got a very special show. We the Veterans TV. I got a very special guest, Mr. Carlton Reynolds. All right. First off, Mr. Carlton, I want you to introduce yourself. Let people know where you're from, what age you joined, what branch, and stuff like that as well. All right.
Okay, hi. Well, greetings, folks, and everybody out there. And my name's Carlton Reynolds, and I'm Washington. I'm sorry. I'm from the Washington, D.C. area. I grew up in Northeast and moved around several times in my teens before moving out to Virginia. Went then going out to high school out in Virginia. Graduated from T.C. Williams actually in 1978, and I took a few years off before I decided to go ahead and join the military to get away from home. I was growing pains and living around my folks. So I got to see the world, and I got out a little before that what I hoped had been a long like a career in the military, but I did get to see overseas. I went overseas and in the Pacific, and then got out of the military and worked for the airlines in the local region. I worked for several airlines in security checkpoint, and this is before 9/11, not after.
Okay.
So at that time we weren't making that much money, but it was a job, and it meant a lot of people.
All right. So what were some of the things you did while you were out there in the streets? What branch you say you were in?
I was in the Air Force.
In the Air Force?
Yes,
okay.
sir.
So what are some of the things you did out there, man?
Okay, what do you mean, like in the after work or?
I mean, before, during, after. Any highlights of your life?
Oh, yeah.
Think of? Any highlights?
Right, yeah. I used to live. I was kind of a night person. I used to like to see what the action was downtown. So I would always sneak out of my grandparents' place and roam this, strip down to 14th Street. And,
okay.
Upper, some of the stores. I like high fashion, and always wanted to be get into modeling and wearing really nice clothes and everything. So I used to during my growing period go through Georgetown a lot, M Street,
Okay.
and Connecticut Avenue. Yeah. I got quite a experience doing that too. Met a lot of people.
Did you get to fly any planes while you was out there in the Air Force? I always wanted to go to the Air Force.
Yeah.
Man. Like my eyesight wasn't good enough for me to.
I know.
fly,
Yeah.
but
Well, not. I didn't get a chance to fly planes, but I did go a couple times in the cockpit with pilots.
Oh, that's cool. That's
with
cool.
pilot
That's cool.
types,
That's cool.
and it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. It was another world away. Overseas.
Okay, what kind of thing? What made you, besides your parents and your family? I know you wanted to get out the house at a young age and try to get away from home. But what are some of the other things that made you want to join the military?
I just I wanted to put two and two together wasn't working out for me as as a youth, and as far as working 9 to 5 job and being around my folks in the local area. I didn't really get the experience of real life.
Gotcha.
And also I got to see some things that most people don't usually see overseas. So I like the ocean, and I got to swim in the ocean. Thank God, no sharks.
And what time of the year was it that you joined the military? Was it like
it was this time? It was this time of year.
Okay.
It was Christmas time actually. I joined December 17th, and I'll never forget. We went up to MEPS up in Baltimore, and we had to wait a little while for processing, but I had already sworn my.
When you got out, was it what you expected when you left the military, as far as finding work, finding help, medical wise?
I want to say, when I got out, I was 26, and back it was in the mid '80s, by the way. Things were a little different. Well, actually, a lot different than they are now. You didn't have the technology and
yeah, absolutely.
this the information highway that we have in these days, but also back then there was always talk about Big Brother watching over you, from wherever, from on high, satellites, and hidden cameras or whatever. But I was really lucky actually. I had some friends that I knew that worked at a local airport at the National Airport in Washington D.C.
Okay.
Before it became Reagan.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Reagan was still in office
Gotcha.
when I got out, but I was very fortunate. I got a job actually within a week after I got out of the service. So I managed to make it steady work for several years. I really didn't get really thinking about my status as a veteran until I ran into like fellow veterans like myself that were had been exposed to that life.
Yeah. I know it can be tough for you guys overseas, man. Getting exposed to a lot of different things that you never seen or heard about before. I see it on movies. I never got to experience it myself, but I didn't know it was that real. And after hearing your story and a couple of other people's stories, I can believe that it's hard when you go over there and try to stay straight, try to stay focused, because you got easy access to a lot of stuff, over there.
Yes, sir.
All right, and when you came back, give some advice to the veterans. A lot of veterans around this time, get sick. And it might be, because of the change of the weather, and, other situations that might make them sick. But if you had any advice, to veterans about health and how to maintain, being healthy,
right.
What would you say to the guys?
My situation, everybody's situation is not the same, and I wouldn't want to give, one answer fits all. But,
absolutely.
My situation is that you get older, and you get, you have you really, it's not as easy as you get older. You start losing your circle of family. It starts passing on and whatever. Especially around this time of year, there's a lot of expectation to be happy joyous and be giving and all this stuff, and then but what I would just say is to, for me, I say go at your own pace. Yourself better than anybody else,
Yeah.
if you need help, just don't hold it in. Just try to reach out to somebody that understands. There are so many people that are willing to help you. And willing to give you help, and if they not, they're willing to direct you to the right source of help. The folks over here at ITC TV are a good source of advice and information, referral. They can tell you where to get started, and also they can they can also give you an opportunity. There's a lot of talented people who are in the military, very talented, and that's another thing. I was talking to an fellow Army buddy who's about my age, and he was telling me about when he was overseas, and when he was in Hawaii, and he was married, and he was doing pretty good. I think he was telling me how he was making close to $90,000 a year, and he and his wife got separated, and he had to get out of the military, and that larger than lifestyle disappeared. But he was just saying that I've heard it from more than just him, that, and I was watching on TV about a sergeant. He had come down with an illness or something like that. It's some kind of a terminal illness or disease, and he had gotten a lot of medals and everything. He was a pretty decorated veteran, but he was just saying how the when you're out of the service, you're like yesterday's news. Like an old newspaper. What do you do? You throw it in the recycle bin.
Yeah. That's why I asked you about coming out and getting jobs and finding help, because we hear about it a lot. Like we come back, y'all come back, and I got treated how y'all supposed to be treated. And first of all, I'm gonna tell you I appreciate your service, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
That's really important. Like,
thank you. Yes, sir. Thank you. I appreciate it. I view myself firstly as a native Washingtonian. Okay. I was born in Washington. And I grew up here. Gotcha. I mean, I went to school out in Virginia. But the DMV is my home area. And, I don't know too many other areas in the country I could really call home.
Yeah, absolutely.
My folks are gone.
Sorry to hear that, man.
Yeah. To I'm saying, better place.
Yeah.
Greener pastures. But my nearest relative that I really can, I can relate to. I have a nephew that drives a bus.
Okay.
And he drives a bus out in Virginia. Mm-hmm. But he's a very smart kid. He's just turned 40. And,
well, I know you don't got a lot of family left, man, but at the end of the day, man, you got a family here with ITC. We're always here to help the veterans, and I appreciate you coming in.
Thank you, sir.
And telling your story.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure talking.
If you ever want to come back and tell, more stories, and
thank you very much. I might have more experiences and more stories to tell.
Yeah, more advice for other veterans.
Right. Like I said, you're hurting right now. Right now is, it's no better time to speak up and get the help you need. It's no excuse to go through another year, a new year, suffering and by yourself, and I mean, that could be anything, like that. And I'm include myself, even, with struggling with meals, this basic everyday, you know, support, meals. I mean, a lot of veterans go hungry, like I did it, a couple of years ago, I mean, when I lost my house, So, I can understand, but, go it alone. We're all family in the end, you might, whatever branch you were in, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, or Coast Guard, or whatever, active, or,
Well, we're going to make sure we give you, the best of help we can here at ITC TV community. Hey, we the Veterans TV, so we got a great veteran here, man, Mr. Carlton Reynolds. And I appreciate you coming in and telling your story, man. And any more vets that need help, need more advice, please come see us. We got the number right here for y'all. Y'all probably seen it. Y'all please go check out Mrs. Blue's book, man, Mosaic of Madness. We're going to be interviewing this lady real soon. So y'all check her out. Follow her on Blue Lotus Illumination on Instagram. All right, so we're going to see her, real soon. Thank you, Abdush-shahid, for having this and giving me the opportunity to talk to y'all as far as Mrs. Carlton, to tell this story as far as a veteran. We really appreciate all the veterans out there. Y'all stay tuned. We got more great content coming soon.